It's Saturday, August 17th. And, I'm out at the marina just to do a little boat work today. Weather's not great. Lots of clouds, rain, sprinkles. Just not going to be a good sailing day, I don't think. So I have a couple little projects I want to look at today. First one might not be pleasant. So my holding tank is underneath that berth right there, and I just noticed when I was closing the engine through hull, which is right under there, when I opened that up, that there was pretty smelly there, like sewage smell. So I need to open that up and see if something happened with my holding tank. I did replace the discharge hose from the bathroom toilet into the holding tank a while back. So I don't know if that could be if I didn't get it tight, or if something worse happened, like the tank itself is cracked. But anyway, I'm going to open that up and see what I can find out. And then I want to troubleshoot my fuel level gauge. Doesn't seem to be working. So I'm going to see if I can troubleshoot that a little bit, and we'll see what we can find. More in a little bit. Alright, well, there's not a whole lot to see in here, and I don't really smell the smell now. So this is the Oday 322 in the holding tank. It's small, like 19 gallons or so. And you can see it's not very big, kind of wedged in there. This is where all the engine plumbing and the exhaust flows through here. There's two through hulls in here, one for the engine, one for the toilet. So the hoses to the holding tank run through here. It's just really a tight mess, and it's hard to keep it clean. There was a lot of moldy mildew stuff in there, so maybe that was the smell. I don't know. I sprayed a little bleach water in there and wiped everything down. So I guess we will not worry about it. And I don't see any cracks in the tank. I don't see any hoses off. So I guess we'll keep going. The only thing that looks suspect to me maybe is the discharge hose for sucking the crap out of the tank. I don't know, that fitting does not look the best to me. I'll have to investigate that a little bit better. It's hard to see down in there. Need a light. I'll check that out. Well, as you can see, I pulled the tank out, and that might have been the cause of the smell. There was that fitting that was just not, didn't seem like it was into the tank very well, like it would spin, or it was obvious somebody had put gunk on it. So I'm going to take it home. I'll clean up all this crap, maybe throw some bilge paint down in there before I put the tank back in, and try to get this as cleaned up as I can. Really wasn't too hard to get it out, actually, other than this one fitting. This hose right here was hard to get out. So I took everything else off so I could pull the tank up a bit and get to that fitting, but it probably needs to be done. So then the other question is, do I replace the discharge hose while I'm at it? It runs from here across the boat up into the lazarette and to the pump out. So I've already replaced the discharge from the toilet with the new Triton hose. I did that a little while ago this summer. Triton 101 or whatever it's called. Anyway, I could get another run of that and probably replace this. It's a pain in the butt trying to route stuff through that engine plumbing bay though, for sure, but I suppose it probably should be done. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit and we'll go from there. Well, it wasn't easy getting that holding tank in that little trunk, but I did get it home, out of the boat and home. I've taken all the fittings off. An inlet and outlet, and then 2 air vents. See one of the air vent holes there. The tank itself is in good shape. I've washed it out the best I can, and now I'm gonna clean up these fittings. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of the threads. Just they're old. They weren't in there all that great to begin with, probably. And then I'll clean them all up and put her back together. So these are all going into a bucket of hot soapy water for now. Get them cleaned up, let everything dry out a little bit, and then we'll put it back together. I think I'll probably paint the bilge underneath that, underneath the holding tank before I put it back in. I think I'll hold off doing the hose unless I have problems putting it back together and keeping it from leaking, but honestly don't feel like dealing with that right now. That might be a good wintertime project, so we'll get the tank back in, everything cleaned up, the bilge painted, and hopefully that's the end of that for now. Well, if you remember what it looked like yesterday, it was pretty bad back here. So we pulled the tank out, took it home, and cleaned it out, and then rebed all the, there's 4 fittings in there. The waste input, waste output, and then 2 vent fittings. So we took them all out, rebed them all, and hopefully they'll be fine. We painted the area underneath with some bilge coat. So we're just going to let this tack up a little bit, and we're going to put the tank in. Alright, well, this is about done. So the tank's back in. Easy actually to put it in once you know how to take it out. So hopefully hoses are all good and won't leak when we test it out for the first time, which I'm not going to do today. But she's in. And we'll consider this project complete.